Today is Monday, July 20th, 2026. My name is Anthony, and welcome to the Kayfabe Wrestling News Weekly Update brought to you by Thunder and Lightning Gaming. A surprisingly good episode of Monday Night Raw, all things considered. Lots of really good promo segments. Alpha Academy confronted Maxine in the Vision. It seemed like Otis was about to confess his love to yet another blonde, but was halted by Austin Theory and his band of Disney Channel villains. Bayley confronted Lyra and challenged her to a match at Saturday night's main event. LA Knight and Solo Sikoa are finally teaming up. They'll take on the Bloodline alongside Royce Keys at SummerSlam. And then there's the Gauntlet match. This was weird to me. I feel like we all knew Gable was going to win because his character is on the rise right now, and also he's from Minnesota. And Javon Evans put up a good fight, but that's all he did. I'm just really unsure what story they're trying to tell with him. That he's not good enough, but almost good enough. This is his 10th opportunity at a title by my count, and it didn't seem like he's any closer to getting one. Well, Layla Diggs is injured, so instead of Zarya versus Layla, we got Zarya versus 3 other women. She retained. Lola Vice is the new #1 contender for Kendall's belt for some reason. No Tatum, so I assume we'll see her at Saturday night's main event. Spoiler alert, we didn't. Way too much Vanity Project this episode. Reina Volcan debuts next week, and Saquon Sugar spent an entire episode trying to recruit some allies and finally found some in the form of Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar. Kyle Fletcher and Copen Cage successfully defended their titles. Andrade defeated Jake Doyle, earning himself a national title shot. Jungle Jack Perry has officially begun Chapter 2, and he's starting by offering someone an opportunity on Saturday. The Painmaker Chris Jericho is back. I'm not going to lie, I haven't been watching wrestling for all that long, so I'm not really sure if this was a new thing or an old thing I was supposed to get excited for, but yeah, I honestly have no idea what this was or will be. And Speedball Mike Bailey seems to be convinced that Kevin Knight is going to follow Andrade's footprints and turn on Don Callis. We have a new Evolve Men's Champion, Harlem Lewis, who successfully defeated Aaron Rourke after 126 days. Starboy Chaz Hall was unsuccessful against Max Abrams after interference by just a ton of dudes. Layla Diggs was successful against Veronica Haven, but don't let this pre-taped footage fool you. Layla Diggs is still injured. I wish her a speedy recovery because no joke, she's the best wrestler on this show. Thea Hale from NXT and M by Elegance have advanced in the Knockouts TV Championship Tournament. Mila Moore joins Order 4 as the Secretary of Strategic Affairs, so Sosa, which is pretty funny. Speaking of Sosa, he lost to Bear Bronson and Fabian Eichner lost to Cedric Alexander, so a big night for system enjoyers. An impassioned promo cut by Casey Navarro, who's officially set his sights on the TNA World Championship. He even managed to make a blink and you miss it reference to Dolph Ziggler. With Rhea Ripley out on injury, WWE is doing something kind of interesting that they haven't done in a while. They're crowning an interim champion. What that means is there's going to be a 5-woman ladder match at SummerSlam, and the winner will become interim champion. When Rhea Ripley returns from injury, she will fight that person, and whoever wins will become the actual women's champion. The problem with this is that the 5 qualifying matches started on this episode of SmackDown, and 2 winners of those qualifying matches are Jade and Tiffany. I personally think the perfect person to hold this interim champion title is JC Jane, and she's already lost to Tiffany, so she won't have the title. And I guess the Women's U.S. Championship isn't being defended at SummerSlam either. Also, Blake Monroe attacked Candice LeRae, which might be a good sign that Candice is going to wrestle again soon. Maybe. On Raw, Danhausen cost JD McDonough his match with a distraction. Then, on SmackDown, Jackie was able to get an interview with Danhausen from inside his lab, where she almost died. Not a whole lot to talk about from this episode of Collision as we gear up for Redemption. Bandito successfully defended his Ring of Honor Championship against Adam Priest. Hikaru Shida successfully defended her TBS Championship against Queen Aminata. And Kevin Knight successfully defended the TNT Championship against AR Fox. Mark Davis attacked Andrade mid-interview with Renee, and Darby Allin set the stage for his title match against Kevin Knight. Nick Aldis cost Sami Zayn and Gunther the tag match at Saturday night's main event, and it has since been made official. We are actually getting General Manager Nick Aldis versus the Ring General Gunther at SummerSlam. This Saturday night's main event was honestly pretty boring. We're not even going to talk about Roman. Lyra has new music and defeated Bayley handily. A lot of speculation surrounding the wrestler Bayley on the internet. I'm not going to get into any of that on this show. When something is officially announced, I will report on it. The big thing I want to highlight from Saturday night's main event is that Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed of Fatal Influence are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. This belt means a lot to me, and I didn't love Brie and Paige as champs. Like, they were fine and they had a solid run. No one can say they didn't. but I am excited for a change, and I'm excited that they put the belts on relative main roster newcomers. Rey Mysterio has announced a new set of matches to determine the new Latin American champion to replace Vikingo now that he's injured. I won't go over all of them. Maybe I can find a graphic that does or make a graphic that does. But the first one was tonight, and it was a triple threat between Tejano Jr., Abismo Negro, and Dr. Wagner III, with Dr. Wagner picking up the victory. And La Hiedra is once again the new #1 contender for the mixed tag belts, this time with Laredo Kid. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy Monday Night Raw, and I'll see you next week.